Hey everyone. So I wanted to come on today and talk about something that I think is pretty relevant, especially with business owners, online entrepreneurs, but it has everything to do with you as an individual person. And if you're interested in wanting to understand how to change something in your life, how to move from a certain place, a certain income, a certain relationship, certain place in your health to somewhere different, there is there has been a lot of information that's been hidden from us that doesn't give us the know-how to know that we can navigate these areas ourselves, that we can grow and evolve and create the reality that we choose to if we understood how we actually work. So what I wanted to bring to you is we've been taught that you only can believe what you can see. So when you are in that conditioning, that limits you to pretty well everything. It limits you to pretty well everything except what you're seeing every day in your reality, in your world, in the system. So this is where I want to encourage people who want to change their life to open your mind. When you open your mind, you're allowing new information to come in. You don't have to believe it. You don't have to do it. You don't have to agree with it. It's the act of just being open, which is what's going to help you evolve. So being limited in information means that, the vast amount of information that is available to you at any moment, you have no idea how to tap into. And what little information you are getting, I'm going to call it in this system, is perverse. It's inverted. It's not going to add value to you. It's not going to bring more life to you. It's actually sucking the life out of you. This is just how the system was set up. So when you're conditioned, and what I mean by conditioned is when you believe something, you've accepted it. It's like, oh, okay, there's nothing real unless I can see it. And this has been repetitively given to us generation after generation. Then you don't pay attention to things that are invisible, right? Their vibration, you can feel them, but because you can't see them, you dismiss them. So where I want to really encourage people today is your feelings, you could almost say that you could see them. They're real. They're just as real as something that you can see. So when you have a feeling or when you have a thought, these things are invisible to you, but they're real. You can feel them, and your thoughts, you can see them in your head. So this is where I want to take people moving forward, because when you want to heal your body, you have to think and you have to feel to do it. When you want to create more money in your business, if you want to grow your business, if you want to change yourself so that you can attract your soulmate, whatever it is you want, it always comes down to thoughts. They're invisible. Feelings are felt. They're not seen. So I want to go from there. So reality gives us many things, but they may not be something you can always visually see. But you have to understand when you come from, a vibration or from a frequency, they're not necessarily seen, but they're felt. You can also get something called awareness or knowingness. You just know something because there's a transfer of energy that's invisible that you can't physically watch take place. But yet if you're getting some type of intuition hit, if you're starting to know something with conviction and you have absolutely no reason to know this, then how do you explain what that is? These are tangible things in our world, but because we have been conditioned to believe that there's nothing real or nothing's really of any importance unless you can see it, we dismiss everything. We blow them off. Now, take a look at when you have something happen where you think of somebody and they phone you. Instead of considering what that is, how that's tethered together, how we're quantum entangled and going deeper into who you are, we blow it off and we say, oh, that's kind of weird. That's kind of a coincidence. You get a gut feeling. You get a gut feeling to do something or not to do something. And if you happen to feel that gut feeling and choose not to do something and find out down the road that gut feeling kind of navigated you from a problem to something that took you away from the problem. What human beings do is they make excuses for that because it's invisible. It was a feeling. It's intangible. It's not something they can visually see. So they blow it off. So I wanted to start off by sharing a little bit of information about opening your mind up to understanding and possibly receiving new information. And you can discern it once you receive the information, whether or not you resonate with it or not. But at least you're opening yourself up to learning something new about you. One of the things there's many things, but one of the things that is quite a disappointment is the fact that most human beings have no idea who they are because the information has been limited. And then of course, what we have been given is wrong. We've got this conception of ourselves and that we're alone, that we're kind of like just left out here by ourselves. And we don't know what our powers are. We don't understand our spiritual realm. We don't understand that there's multiple dimensions. There's many things to us that we don't know. Yet when we watch somebody, whether we know them or not, create a quantum leap in their life, heal themselves, and it's called a miracle, or they've gone from rags to riches, or they've created something beautiful when they didn't have that to start off with. Why don't you start to consider what is it that these people are tapping into that's creating a different reality for themselves? Because if you ask them what they're doing, they might say, I don't know. They might say, I'm just following my intuition. But again, intuition is invisible. But it still comes down to something intangible. There's still something that they're accessing that's not something they can see, but it's bringing a lot of abundance into their life, a lot of freedom into their life. And this is where I would encourage you guys to consider. So I want to talk into today why some of you, whether you're entrepreneurs, whether you're just doing your thing in the world, when you have a desire or when you have a wish that you really want to change your life, or you wish that this was in your life and all these other things, where do you think that idea is coming from? Right? Where are those ideas coming from? Because they don't come from where you are now, because you don't have them right now. This is a manifested physical realm. So whatever is here, whatever you're visualizing is already manifested. So when you have something that's a desire, or you have something that you want to change, this idea, this thought is coming from outside of this realm. So this is where you have to think, okay, why do I not entertain anything that my thoughts are giving me? Such as, I want another job, or I want to create a business, or I want to start my life over and move across the world. If you have these desires, they're there for a reason. But if you recognize right away, your body starts to give you feedback. It gives you information in your mind in the form of thoughts, and you hear a voice. And the voice is saying, don't do that. Don't do this. It's giving you all the reasons why not to do it. Because the voice is coming from the 3D realm. The voice is the conditioning. It's part of the system's conditioning. It's within your body here in the physical world. And where you're tapping into this information and giving you these ideas, these wishes, they're in complete contrast to what's in your body. So to help you understand it a little bit more about the context is that the information that the system gives you in our 3D reality right now is tapped, it's capped. It's not going to give you any more information. It doesn't want you to know too much. I think a lot of you who followed me know that. So the system is here to keep you unhappy pretty well, living a mediocre life. It really is not about you living your best life. It's not giving you the tools. It's not giving you the information to know who you are, to understand our reality, and all of the things that are available to you if you knew this or if you remembered it. So the information of a thought that comes outside of this realm is inspiring. It gives you something or an idea to go do something different, to create something new, to actually stop living the way you're living and now take your life to another level. Go and try to be more than what you're being right now, because, oh my God, there is so much more to you. And because the contrast, the vibrational frequency contrast is first. But because the thought of you doing something different than what's normal in your life right now and what you've conditioned in your own body, this is where you hear those thoughts that say, hey, you aren't good enough, or you don't have enough time. All of the excuses that we start to hear when we get that idea to do more. So I want you to understand where these ideas are stopping you from is within your body. The voices that you're hearing in your head are because of what's in your body. And what I mean by in your body, so a lot of you who are following me, a lot of you are doing personal development and, looking into more than just what the system gives you, you will notice that you have learned about the cells in your body. You've learned about DNA. You've learned about the fact that you actually are like a transmitter. You send out frequencies from your own body and you receive frequencies, information, okay, incoming and outgoing. So when you look at it from that perspective, your cells carry information. Your DNA is what signals the universe what you're thinking, what you're feeling, who you are, right? It's the information that is encoded, that you've embodied within your own physical body. So this is where I want to bring you some information so that you don't think or form stories around, which we do this because we don't know. We form stories from when we go to try to start a business and it doesn't work. We create a story that, it wasn't meant to work. I guess it's not in the cards for me, or I don't know enough yet. I better go back and, take more programs, get more certifications, or just settle and go back to my job. I mean, there's all kinds of stories that come flooding in when we go to try to do what we were inspired to do, that idea that was going to grow us, give us what we want, help us live a better life. When we go to try to do that, right, and something fails, we don't understand why it failed. And this is what I want to bring clarity to all of you for. It has nothing to do that you're not ready or good enough. So for you who are into manifesting and knowing that we are co-creators, so manifesting can be a word that you like or you don't like, but either way, you are manifesting your own reality. You're co-creating with something that's invisible every single day. So for people who want to really change their lives or grow their businesses or quantum leap in any way, shape, or form, this is the information that you really want to start investigating. You want to start learning more about, because when you keep diving deeper and deeper into this stuff, you're actually learning more and more about you. And this is the biggest thing that they've hidden from all of you, is the conception of who you are, and what lies they've given you is so false. And the true you, the real you, and what you are really is something that if you understood that, you'd be unstoppable. You would never ever entertain another fear, another worry ever again, because you would elevate to a different level of consciousness, because your awareness around who you are is dominating that consciousness. Does that make sense? You're no longer going to entertain the lower information that you've been given, because you know better now. Once you learn something, you can't unlearn it. So this is where, when you understand this, you take back your power. You've heard it in the online space, probably if you're a coach or an entrepreneur, where they say, how do you take back your power? You take back your power by understanding who you are, and start learning how to navigate the invisible field, the invisible, so that you can create the life that you desire. So the power behind our manifestation, what we manifest and co-create into our reality, using the quantum field, using our morphogenic field, using invisible substance that is surrounding us. I'm trying to really push the fact that there's so many invisible frequencies available to you and me that most aren't paying attention to, because they can't see them with their physical eyes. So this is where I want you to understand that the emotions, your emotions, are what is the power behind manifestation. This is why in most cases, people who do affirmations, who journal a lot of things, or try to do the things that they're told to do that will bring them more money in their life, more success in their life, they don't work. Because you're going up against a huge, huge power that's in charge right now. And that power is your emotions. It's the emotions that you've embodied, the emotions that are the dominating thoughts in your life, in your body, in your mind, in your reality, talking amongst friends. It's what's normal. And it's not rocket science when you look at the system's information and what is available to all of us. It's all done in fear. So we are encoded, we have embodied, and we are surrounded, which means it's become normal to live a life of scarcity, to live a life of fear, to live a life of worry. And this has been encoded into the cells of your body. So what's in your body is the system's information. Okay, this is the easiest way I can describe it. So when you have this idea that you want to do something that will bring more life to you, that will bring more health to you, it'll give you more freedom, it'll make you happy. Oh boy, right? It'll make you happy. Then you're going to understand that in your body, in the cells, there's no information that's going to navigate you there. Okay, it's all keeping you right where you are. So this is where you get the contrast. This is where you get the two different conversations going on in your head. One saying, yes, go do it, you're more than capable. And your body, it feels yucky. It tightens up. It starts to make you feel nervous. It starts to make you doubt yourself, because these are what you've embodied. They're codes within your own cells of your body that are always going to match the system until you're aware. So this is where I want to bring some light to people to understand that we have a self-fulfilling prophecy if we continue to live in the system without even considering anything else. If we don't consider anything else, if we don't learn anything else than what we're giving, this is a self-fulfilling prophecy that is guaranteed to manifest in your life. And this is what's been going on forever, because the information that you are given on a regular basis is all inside your body. It's in your mind, it's in your body, you're encoded with it. So when you want something new, you're going to have a fight. So the point I want to get across here, starting from this point, is anything that you want to change in your life. It doesn't matter what it is. Business, health, relationships, it doesn't matter. Moving to another place in the country or the world, when it doesn't match what's ever in your body, which is all done in scarcity, fear, and there's more to it, but scarcity and fear, then your body actually will not allow you to move. Your body will get scared. Your body will feel sick. Your body can actually create an illness. That's how powerful it is, because you are that powerful. So this is where you've heard of self-sabotage. You will not go or do what you want to do, no matter how much you want it in your head, because right now the body is in charge. Your body, I hope all of you know this, and if you don't, your body is your subconscious mind. And whatever is in there is going to be the dominating signal that attracts every single thing into your life. And your subconscious mind is emotions, it's feelings. So this is why when you're living in a system that is only giving you information and experiences based in fear, it's no wonder that when you go to step out to do something, the first thing that you feel and start to think about is laced in fear. Right? What if this happens? What if that don't happen? What if this doesn't work? Oh my God, could I have, so fear, fear, fear. This isn't even real. It's just a program. So moving forward today, I hope that you know that if you try to do something and it hasn't worked in your past, it doesn't mean you weren't meant to have it. If it's something that you can't let go of, it's something that all your life you've wanted to do, to be, to have, whatever it is. If it has been with you your whole life, it's meant to be expressed through you. I hope you get that. And the stories that your mind will create based on your circumstances, based on what your programming tells you, that because you tried to do something that is not in alignment with the system, with fear, with worry, with suppression, okay? You were looking to do something that would bring you into expression, to bring you, beautiful abundance and joy and happiness. Everything is the opposite of fear, right? So you're going to feel something in your body where your thoughts are going to try to pull you down. It's like the crab in the bucket. The crabs are going to pull that one crab back down in the bucket. So you are capable if it's something you really want. Don't allow the story that because you tried and it didn't work, because your body wouldn't let you go, your body made you stop and go back, your body made you procrastinate, your body made you sabotage, your body. The subconscious mind is not your enemy, but it's full of these codes. It's full of these emotions. So you have to recognize these emotions and realize they're not yours. They were given to you. So this might make more sense for all of you now who have, been thinking about things that you wanted to change, or you have done something and then it's actually gone backwards. It's gone back to its original way of being, where you've had hopes or dreams and wishes of doing certain things. And every single time you've tried to do it, it sabotages itself. It never seems to manifest for you. The reason being is because if you were encoded with abundance, if you were encoded with joy and happiness, with no limits, the sky's the limit, or even not even the limit. If you understood who you really were, then your whole entire life and everything that you have would be different, because your whole entire body is encoded with success. Your whole body's encoded with prosperity. So the things you hear online about money blocks or about blocks in your body, it literally is a real thing. They're energy. But because you can't see them, most people just dismiss them. They don't even understand the reason why you're not able to have what it is you want is because there's energy. There's things within your own cells of your body. It's information that's saying, no, you're not available for that. You're not good enough for that. Everything's going to sabotage you. But when you wake up to this, when you get this knowledge, when you're aware of this information, that's when you can start to take your power back and decide, okay, I'm not going to listen to it because it's not real, but what can I do to move this out of my body so that I can start to attract what I want? So the first thing you want to do, if you want to start to recognize what's sabotaging you from inside your body, what blocks are blocking you in there, what energy is trapped in there. And sometimes people can actually feel around and notice it. Either they can feel it in their knots in their stomach. Sometimes they get headaches. Sometimes they can feel it in the back of their shoulders. Wherever you feel it, especially when you go to do something that you want to bring into your life or change, and then all of a sudden that overflow of information comes in to sabotage you, you start to feel it within your body. These are the things you want to recognize, because that's where the energy has been trapped. And these are literally cells. They're actually chemicals within your body. This is another thing that we're not taught, that the chemicals, you are a chemical factory, and the chemicals are They're in chemical form, but they are actually emotions. They're called neuropeptides. So when you have an emotion that is trauma, a trauma emotion, a fear emotion, these emotions are locked up in your body through what's called neuropeptides. They stay within your body and they gather around your body, okay? Because they're in fear, they're in a trauma type of vibration. When you have a really happy experience, when you're in joy, those emotions you still have neuropeptides, but guess what? They don't stay in your body. Isn't that interesting? The joy, the happiness, the abundance, they move to and through you. But the ones that don't feel good are the ones that are stuck in your body because they're done through a trauma or a fear. So this should eliminate, I hope, anything that gives you doubt that you're not good enough by looking at the evidence in your reality and saying, okay, well, I've tried to do these things. I've tried to make more money. I've tried to have a successful relationship. I've tried to lose weight. And you know what? All I keep getting back as feedback is I'm not good enough then, because it doesn't stay. If I do get it, it goes away. And if I don't get it at all, then that must be proof that I'm just not meant to have it. It's not in the cards for me. This is not true. So I'm hoping by sharing this information for the ones that actually care to change their life, there's a lot of people that are absolutely fine with their life. They're not willing to do one more thing. They're just going to exist. They're going to live their life the way it is, and they're okay with that. But I'm talking about like usually entrepreneurs, driven people who want to change their life. They're not willing to settle. They're not willing to sit back and just take what they're given. They know there's something within themselves that knows there's more. But what they don't know is, why is it that every time you go after it, you're being sabotaged? Why is it that every time you try to do something in the physical world, it doesn't seem to work? You run out of time. You run out of energy. You're struggling. You're burnt out because you're doing it backwards. You're doing things backwards because that's what they wanted you to do. The system is set up so that everything is hard. So when you create, right, a belief system that, oh, money is hard to earn, well, no shit it is, because how you're trying to earn money in the 3D world, it's never going to happen for you. So I want to give you an example of something that will maybe solidify what I'm sharing with you. So there's obviously a time, depends on how old you are. There was a time in our life where we had phones where you had to manually use your fingers and actually dial something. And so when we were doing that, your mind, your body, your thoughts were all working together, and you memorized an emotion, you memorized a number, you did it with your body. Okay, so there's a time for some of you who are watching me that will remember that when you went to call that person and you looked at the phone and you went to try to consciously use your mind to think, okay, what is the phone number? It wouldn't come to you. It wouldn't come to you. But if you actually went to the phone and just looked down and put your fingers on the phone, your fingers, your body would start to move and dial the number for you. You were not consciously directing it. Your body was doing it because it has in your cells, in the body, the information already there. You've embodied this information. And when you embody something, your body is naturally going to move according to that information. So this is an example I want to give you for any of you that are old enough that had dial phones or phone numbers where you had to manually punch them in. Your body embodied the number. So if you thought about the number, sometimes it wouldn't come to you. All you had to do is go over to the phone, put your hand there, and weird, your body, your hand would start to move and dial the number. This is what I mean. Your body is in charge. Now let's look at that way of perception at what we're doing in our online business. Let's look at something you're doing right now in your coaching business or in your any business you have, really. What are you doing when you're about to go do something and you feel in your body, I'll do it tomorrow. I don't feel too good about going live right now. Maybe I'll do a post instead. And then you go scroll on TikTok or you go do laundry. What is going on right now? Your body is getting you to procrastinate. Your body is getting you to do something different. It's taking you away from doing the thing that will get you whatever it is you want. And if you're not aware of what's going on, your body is distracting you. Your body is sabotaging you. Your body's trying to get you to do what's in your body, to keep you doing what you're encoded with. So when you have this awareness, you don't judge your body. You don't get mad at the program. It's awareness. And awareness is what sets you free, because now it's not going on under the radar. Now it's not controlling your life anymore without your knowing. You know now what's going on. This is how you take back your power. Okay, so before I move into how you put new things in your body, how do you embody something new that will get you where you want to go or to help you achieve that next level of success that you're looking for? You have to understand that what's normalized in your environment, what you're used to, the people you hang around with, where you shop, the music you listen to, the TV you watch, the media you listen to, everything in your environment right now is equal to what's in your body, meaning it's normal. Your body is equal to it. You're not agitated. You're pretty damn comfortable. And this is what I want you to be aware of, because when you try to embody something new, your environment needs to change. This is like an alcoholic staying in an environment like a bar when he's trying to quit. The environment needs to change. So your environment plays a key role, right, in you staying the same. Now, I'm not saying that you have to pick up and move away from everybody who doesn't have what you want, but you have to be aware of your environment. And you also have to be aware of how you can create a new environment, but not in the 3D world. You can create a new environment in 4D, in your imagination. Now, this is usually a part where not too many people are willing to do this unless whatever's driving them, their desire, their passion for whatever it is that they want, that overrides anything else. Because when people start to move into this part of this, they don't want to lose their friends. They don't want to be judged. They don't want people to think that, oh, you think you're better than me now because you want to start shopping here, or because now you listen to this music, or you now work with these type of people, you've changed your job, or you've created a business. I mean, you have to understand that your environment is your friends, your family, the people, everything. Everything you see right now in their world is environment. So when you have all that, most people aren't able, or they're not willing to drop some friends or to change and get new friends that will complement what you're moving into, right? Be normal for your new way of living. So this is things that you have to consider, is you're going to have to change some things. And then there's sometimes you can't, right? You can't always change who you're around. You can't just move your house to another place. So this is where I said earlier, you tap into your imagination. In 4D, your imagination is your creative architect. It's what you can create anything in. It's what you're designing, what you want. That's how you do it in your imagination. And so that is your new environment. But you still have to pull out of your external environment as often as you can. So this is where you've heard people say, everything you need is within yourself. Everything you need is within, not without. Within is your thoughts. Within is your imagination. Within is the spiritual realm. Within is how you feel. It's all the invisible things. Isn't that interesting that we were told that there's nothing out there unless you can see it? And yet the most powerful parts of you, what manifests in your life, what powers manifestation, is invisible. So you don't even look for it. You don't even really use it unless you're consciously aware of it. So when I said to you about the environment, you don't have to move. You don't have to all, drop your friends or family if you don't feel that that's necessary. But your environment is your 4D imagination. Your environment now is where you go to create what it is you want. And this is where I said, you're going to step back out into your 3D world, but you've got to be able to step into your imagination and live there, feel from there, more than paying attention to your outside environment. Before I taught you this, if you didn't know this, all you do is focus on the 3D world. You try harder there. You try to earn more money there. You try to work more jobs there. You try to find the love of your life there. You're doing everything in one realm because you only think there's only a physical realm. But when you realize that your imagination is not in this realm, it's in the spiritual plane, and you can create from there whatever you want. You want to live and feel from that place more until that becomes your new normal. So we have normalized lack. We have normalized struggle. We have normalized what it's like to have wars in this world. So whatever we're seeing and experiencing in this world right now, we have normalized, or we have accepted as normal. Doesn't mean it has to be your normal anymore. And what I mean by that is we're all creating our own realities. There's a collective reality, but you have your own reality, which pours into the collective reality. So this is why you've probably heard how important one person is. Because when each one of us become a better version of ourselves, when each one of us are happier, are wealthier, are in love with life and ourselves, we pour that back into the collective. And then the collective starts to express whatever we're doing. Do you understand? That's how important each and every one of us are. So when you sit there and think, oh, what I'm doing don't matter, what I'm thinking don't matter, it absolutely does. Because here's the thing, we're pouring into the collective consciousness either way. We're creating a collective consciousness of chaos, or we're creating a collective conscious of peace. And it's all done through our own individual realities, how we perceive the world, how we think and feel about ourselves, the world, and what we're being and what we're doing. So this is why, if there's something you want to shift, it's absolutely possible. You just have to know where to do the shifting. And the change never happens in the manifested world. It doesn't ever start in the physical world. So in the transition, in the changing of your life, in the changing of what you think and how you perceive things, this is where the imagination, you're making that normal. There will become a time where what you see in your mind will manifest into form. That's the law of transmutation of energy. That's what manifesting is. You're pulling from the invisible and you're bringing it into the visible. This is how you've created your whole reality. So to deny that manifestation is real, or to deny that you don't manifest anything, that the law of attraction doesn't work for you, this is really just pure ignorance. You don't understand. Because whether you want to or whether you like it, you are always operating within the laws. You're always using them. Whether you use them for the good or bad, doesn't matter. You're using them. And you are manifesting on an everyday, you're manifesting every day. You cannot not manifest. So if you're at that point where you're like, okay, I can manifest anything I want in my life. Yep. Then if you want to change something and you're not willing to settle, these are the things you want to start bringing into your awareness. This is the new information that you want brought into your body so that you can create a new normal. And you choose your new normal. Peace, happiness, wealth, abundance, health, loving relationships, whatever it is that you want, you can normalize that. But you won't start from in the 3D manifested world. That normal isn't what you want anymore. You have to go within. So to understand now, when I said at the beginning of these reels that when you have affirmations, when you're doing affirmations, you're going up against your body. And your body, your subconscious mind, it's going to win because the emotions are the power behind manifestation. So when you think about an affirmation, let's say you make $50,000 a year and you have an affirmation where you're saying that you're making $1 million a year. You don't have the emotion, the power of that emotion locked in your body, passionate that I am a multimillionaire or I am a millionaire. You don't have that emotion. Your body is completely inundated with emotions of lack and scarcity and fear because that's what we were given. So this is where I want you to understand. It's not that affirmations don't work, but they don't work if your body is in disagreement with what you're affirming. When you embody it, then you manifest like that, right? So this is where you have to really grasp what is going on within your body. And you pay attention to how you feel. Whenever you're having a day where you don't feel that great, you are entertaining in the subconscious mind something that doesn't feel good. It's either something you don't like, it's something you don't want to do, something's made you feel a certain way, but it's something that's going on. This is what's causing you, your body, to express unhappiness. So now I want to take you a little bit deeper about being unconscious during the day, allowing your environment, your world, what's normalized, the system's environment to influence you when you're trying to change your life. So when you're learning this information, you become more conscious. You gather more information, you know more about yourself, you understand how things work. So you're going to start to be awake more than you're asleep, which is so much better in terms of being the co-creator of your life. Most of humanity are asleep. They're unconscious most of their day. So whatever is in their body, in the subconscious mind, is running their world, navigating their life, driving them to work without them having to do anything, brushing your teeth, getting dressed. There's certain habits, there's certain patterns that all of us have taken on, which are in your subconscious mind, so that you don't have to worry about them. But when your subconscious is in control and navigating your life, that means you've gone to sleep. You're no longer conscious. You're no longer looking around and thinking. You're not thinking anymore. And this is where they have most of humanity. Because when you're not thinking, you're easily programmable. You're easily to mold. And you don't even start to think, do I really want this life? Do I want to keep doing the same thing? Because the autopilot of the system's information is completely in charge. So this is why awareness is so important about changing your reality, changing your life, and manifesting what it is that you truly want. So you may not look at this, but our five senses are actually something that works against us until you're aware of this. Because the five senses are what brings in the information into your mind and body. It's what your brain decodes and gives you as an experience in the hologram. So your five senses are always communicating with the environment. This is called epigenetics, and your cells in your body are connected. They're exchanging information. So your DNA is like an antenna, right? It's sending out and it's receiving information. Where's the information coming from? Your environment. So when you're unconscious, when you're going about your day, right, and your subconscious is under control and the system's programming is navigating you throughout your day, you're on autopilot. You're receiving the information from the environment, which, as we know, the system's environment is all coded in lack and scarcity and fear. So you're bringing into your awareness all of the system's ideas, information, and low frequency. When you're awake and you're conscious, this is when you stop that. You change your environment. So you no longer take in anything into your body without your consent, without you having discernment and saying, wait a minute, will this bring any value to my life? Is listening to this information, is being around these people, is it something that's going to help me create the life that I want? You're thinking, you're awake, you're conscious. And this is what they don't want people being. They don't want you to think. That's why they keep you distracted. That's why they keep you in fear. Because I've shared this before. When you're in fear, when you're in that survival state, you're not able to think. The chemicals in your body, they're all flooding towards your arms and your legs because you're supposed to be running away from something. You're supposed to try to survive. Well, you're not thinking when you're in that state. And the majority of human beings, they're living in survival every single day, all year round. So the trick that we've all been told is you look at your environment and you take in the information in the environment and you try to change your environment in your environment. Did I say that right? So what I mean by that is the information that you're given, your five senses are taking it in, your environment is your outer world. You're trying to navigate a new life. You're trying to navigate something new to come in your life. You're trying to create more money. You're trying to create more freedom from the information in your external world. This is the biggest lie because nothing changes in your external world that is a reflection of what? You've heard it. Your internal world, your thoughts, your feelings, spiritual realm. You have to understand that nothing is created in the spiritual realm first. Everything is created twice, once in your imagination and once in the manifested world. So the imagination goes first. So even though you are plugged into your environment, your imagination is still being used to create reality. But now you want to use your imagination to create a new reality. And I shared earlier, you have to stop spending so much time, have discernment, and be awake. So that when you're in your environment in the 3D world, you can say, hey, this environment isn't healthy for me. I need to change it. So either you physically leave the environment or you go into your imagination and you do what everyone was told not to do. You daydream. So this might make sense as to why when we were children, we were in trouble, right? For being in our imagination, why we were in trouble for daydreaming, because this is the portal. This is how you pull in information outside of here, outside of the system, and you bring it into your reality. You can change your reality like that. Nothing is set in stone. The only way you have the same life over and over again, the only way you can actually say, oh, my destiny is already arranged, is because you're only using the information from the system. And your imagination just keeps recycling the same information and keeps giving you the same experiences related to the information that the system gives you. So the system's full of lack, the system's full of struggle, the system's full of scarcity. So your reality is going to continually create that experience. But you don't have to stay there once you understand. You can tap into 4D, you can go into your imagination, into spiritual plane. Life force energy, universal mind, source energy, whatever you want to call it. Tap into that invisible power, which allows your imagination to create something brand new, because the information isn't coming from here. The information is coming outside of here. So then you can pull it into here and manifest it. This is how you change your environment. So you want epigenetics to work for you, but the subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between your real environment in the 3D or the environment that's in your imagination. So the law of transmutation of energy says everything comes from spirit down into physical form. So spirit, the spiritual realm, your mind, this is what is going to be your imagination. You're creating something new, something that you truly desire. And then it must come into form. It must manifest. That's just the law. So whatever you're feeling, whatever you're seeing, this will eventually manifest into your physical world. But you have to stay plugged into this vision, this idea. If you go unconscious and you start to live from your 5 senses of the systems and reality, you're only going to go back, revert back, and keep creating that. So this is why being more conscious than not, being aware of what you're doing and recognizing in your body when you start to fall unconscious, and this is something that takes time, but you can eventually get to it, where you'll notice when you get unconscious. Why? Because you don't feel good. You start to feel irritated. You start to feel sad. You start to feel angry. Okay, you're entertaining the system's information, because you can't feel that way when you're entertaining the information from source. Because it's all in high frequency. It's all coming from love. It's all about you growing and evolving and having something more than what you have. So it's going to bring you joy and happiness. So you always know when you're tapped into the wrong information by how you feel. So this is why most entrepreneurs, most people who have their own business, there's certain convicted, driven people that are willing to do whatever it takes to change their life. They feel something within their heart. There's something driving them. They know they're here for something big. And this is why they usually, if they keep going, will eventually manifest what they love. But why I'm sharing this information, because this is one of the biggest things that held me up, is I was trying to do what everybody else was doing. It wasn't like I wasn't willing to invest in myself. It wasn't like I wasn't willing to go learn from people. But the problem was, and this might be something that's happening with you guys, is that you have gathered a lot of information. You have done all of the things that the successful people are telling you to do. And yet you're not seeing any of the results. You're not doing, you can openly take responsibility and say, you know what? I procrastinate. I don't do that. I'm afraid to do that. So the things that we know that will take us to our next level, we're not doing. And now I'm hoping people understand, and this is what I had to put together for me to understand, is what the hell? I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing. Why am I not getting what I want? And why are these people getting what they want? I'm doing what they're doing. And here's the key. It's not what they're doing, because I was doing what they were doing. It's who they're being. Now, this happened for me. Once I got this, my world changed very quickly. I manifested 6 figures in a very short period of time. I was able to create a lot of success, check mark off everything off my vision boards within 9 months or less. It just happened. It was effortless. It was crazy how quickly it happened. And yet I spent almost 16 years trying, working harder, trying to figure this out. And it was difficult. It was like you're burnt out, you're exhausted. And then you finally get this, you shift one little thing and boom, everything just floods into you effortlessly. It's like, okay, whoa. Why doesn't everyone know this? Well, because they don't want you to know this, first of all. And secondly, how many people are going to do what I've even shared in this video? I mean, what drives you is your purpose. At the end of the day, if you think that money is going to drive you to have a successful long-term business, it won't. If you're thinking that having a house or buying a car or being able to go on that trip is the burning desire that is going to keep you engaged passionately in your business forever, that ain't going to do it. The ones that keep going no matter what, the ones that are creating massive success, the ones that are still here even when it feels tough and it doesn't show you that you're even in the right lane, it's your burning desire, it's your purpose. Making a shift in your life, like I just shared, and if you're following any other entrepreneurs, you will notice that they will say similar things. No matter where they are on their journey, no matter how much money they've earned, no matter how big of an impact they've had, they will all share that once they understood this and once they started to apply this and shift who they were being, they realized the being was more important than what they were doing. Everything started to overflow in their life. It was illogical. It was crazy. It was not normal. Right? And that is what you get when you don't act from normal, the system's normal. So when you decide to be delusional and to go outside the box and to actually live from your desire and lead yourself from there, this is where you experience the craziness. This is where you experience the untapped infinite potential, income, health, money that is available to you. And this is so easily done through understanding. It's not that the work is hard. It's getting the awareness and wrapping your mind around it. And like I said earlier, the willingness to change certain things in your life that are holding you back from attaining what you want. Whether it's friends, whether it's what you're doing, whether it's where you're working, it's something. You have to shift those things. And some people are scared to do that. They don't want to do it because it takes away from their normal, their familiar, what feels safe, what feels even good to have certain people around you. But like you've heard before, like attracts like, or birds on a feather flock together, you have to understand that if you pay attention to people that are successful, who are earning a lot of money, making a big impact, living a big, extraordinary life, they're not hanging around people with the system's mindset. They're not. Because you'll become like that. So you have to accelerate, you have to elevate, you have to put yourself in environments of people who think outside of the system's thinking, the programming, the information. And how many do you know that are living that way? We're trying to get more and more people to realize that this is untapped potential that you all have access to if you want to. But it's the burning desire, it's your purpose, it's your why, or it's your calling. This is why you came here. And it is set up to give you abundance and prosperity as you lead your life from that calling. You're happy in it. It comes easy to you. You enjoy it. You love it. And it's also impacting the world in some way, shape, or form. And it was set up that way before you came here. But if you look at yourself or look at the world, the system doesn't push you towards becoming what you came here to be. It pushes you towards what it wants you to be. And that's the difference. This is an ongoing thing. It doesn't matter how successful you are or what it is that you're looking to create or manifest. Once you manifest it, once you have it, you're going to want something more. And you're going to have to go through the exact same process over and over and over and over again as you pivot and become a different frequency, as you pivot and become a new person, change your environment, change what is normal. Because normal can be $1 million a year, and then you can normalize $1 million a month, and then you can normalize whatever else is next. But whatever's normal is what you will continue to bring into your life. This is why people, right, who were billionaires and they've gone bankrupt. They know how to be billionaires. It was normal for them to be billionaires. So it's usually not too long, a couple years maybe, and next they're billionaires again, because that's their normal. Most of humanity's normal is 30,000, 50,000 a year, maybe 100,000 a year. So unless something gets them to think bigger than that, you can't bring in anything into your life that you don't think about. If you don't ever entertain earning more than that, you will never, ever earn more than that. And so the system has it in place that you don't even dream. You don't even think about anything. You only live in reaction. You only live in survival, and you're distracted. So you don't have time to tap into source and bring in new information. It's time we change that. So when you look at people who have a lot of money, millionaires, billionaires, entrepreneurs, you will notice that they do things very effortlessly. They're having a lot of fun. They love what they're doing. And they keep growing and growing and growing in terms of their income, in terms of their impact. So they are in flow. They are navigating the world from a different perspective. They're not creating from inside the world. They're creating from outside the world first, and they're bringing it in. It's a totally different way of being. But like I said, it's not what you're doing. It's who you're being. the wisdom, the knowledge. What are you doing? So if you want to create a life that you love, if you want to create something different in your life, you have to get outside of the norm, and you've got to tap into what will give you the information, what will guide you towards having what you want. Because you're always being guided and you're always being supported if you pay attention. Unfortunately, most of the world doesn't pay attention because they're too distracted. They're too consumed with the materialism and their own self that they miss everything. But what I truly believe is your calling, your purpose. I believe that is the wake-up call that people get. That is the thing that snaps people out of the hypnotism, the big coma, and they start to really desire something more. And that is the driving force that keeps them going, even when things seem hard or even when things start to challenge them, because that is their calling. This is why going after strategies and wanting to know the how and keep taking more programs and doing in the physical world, which, like I said, this isn't where you change anything. This is where people get frustrated. This is where they create the story that this isn't going to happen for me. Like, my destiny must be what my parents told me it was going to be. This is where you have to have that awareness. Like, no. Everything begins and ends with you. Who you're being is your energetics. Who you're being is your identity. Who you're being is what is in your body. What is in your cells? What is your memories? Who are you being is what is navigating your reality and creating it for you. Are you creating outside of your reality? Are you in your imagination? Are you leading yourself from the opposite of what you see in your reality? Are you leading yourself from something that seems illogical? Something that seems like delusional? Because that is what brings you closer to what you want. If you're leading yourself from what's normal, if you're leading yourself from what's, linear, it's the same, it's just, everyone else is doing it, you're not going to get anything new. And this is what I find a lot of people were doing, and I think I was doing this for a while. And then I realized, it's who I'm being. And I had to shift my body, the cells, the neurons. I had to shift the frequency. I had to shift who I was being. You have to become someone completely different. So if you loved what you learned today and what I shared with you, and you want to go deeper with that and be able to embody everything that you know that's up here, take the actions, no more procrastinating, no more self-sabotage. If you're ready to move into that identity, that version of you, then Essence is for you. I created Essence when I first started my business almost 2 years ago, and it is what helped me transform my life. It helped me embody the information that I has been collecting for years. It helped me have the confidence and the courage to step into that new version of myself in order for me to have everything that I wanted. So the understanding, the awareness, the invisible power, all of this stuff is all in Essence that I'm going to show each and every one of you. How you take back your own power so that you can embody the information that you know, that you can constantly shift yourself into the new identity and create the life that you love, not once, but all the time. You are the one that is responsible for everything that you manifest in your life. And if you're ready to harness the universe's power and use it towards bringing in what it is that you want every time, it's math, it's physics, it works once you understand it, then Essence will be for you. It's a 7-week program. We start this Thursday. And right now it's on pre-sale for $2,900. It will be going up to $3,500 in 3 days. So payment plans are available for any of you who might need a payment plan, if that's something you'd like to do. And if you're interested in jumping into Essence with me, just DM me and let me know, and I'll send you the link. So I hope that all of you enjoyed today's videos. These videos are about helping you realize that nothing is set in stone, that you create your own reality when you understand how you create it. When you shift certain ways of being and elevate your identity, you change everything. So nothing is set in stone. You are bigger than what you believe. And if you allow yourself to open up to new information, you'll change your life.